A couple of your girlfriends from Girls' Generation were in the video. I love how supportive you guys are of each other. I feel like that's more common almost in the K-pop world because you guys have all these subunits and you guys are doing all this solo stuff. And here in the U.S., it's like, I don't know, it's more of a big deal. I remember when Camila first did a song with Shawn Mendes while she was still in Fifth Harmony, and it was like the biggest deal in the world. Do you feel that way too? Like it's more common?
I think Girls' Generation is still very special, where we had a good 10 years where we got to try out different things throughout those 10 years. We got to stay together. We got to do different types of solo projects in between those 10 years that when it did come time for us to kind of commit to a certain time frame of going on a solo venture, it was the decision of everybody. And it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to go solo so you can do, you know, in the sense, I mean, for me at least, it was all there. Like the 10 years, we had a solid 10 years of staying together. And I think right now, when the opportunity came of really kind of deciding for ourselves versus like because we were obligated to or we're on a contract, we sat down and we're like, okay, as human beings, we know we're going to stay together forever.
Right.
We had that trust and support from each other. So it still is a surprising time for everybody, just amongst us and our fans. But for Girls' Generation, each of us doing our own thing and going solo wasn't as surprising, I guess, because there is that sense of trust with each other and with our fans. And it's always kind of surprising and unexpected. And I wasn't here and I remember watching Camila and the Shawn Mendes duet, and I guess I was taking it in a K-pop perspective, and I was just like, oh yeah, I guess everybody's trying out their solo things, and I'm learning.
It's weird. It's different here because I feel like immediately then everybody was so nervous, like, oh my God, they're gonna break up, like, you know. And the same happened with Zayn to a degree when he started wanting to like kind of express himself differently in a solo light. So
I think every team is different.
Sure.
And I am coming back here. And it's only been a year, so I'm learning a lot of the group's history as well. And I mean, for me right now, I'm just continuously taking my time here, but still trying to keep in touch and keep up with all the girls as well.
So then with Girls' Generation, how do you guys know when it's time to get in the studio together and reunite?
It's only been a year and 2 months since our last album together. The talks are coming where the girls are like, yeah, when do you want to get together? And I was like, are we like talking for real? Now it's not just like over dinner. And they're like, I mean, I think some of the girls are in production right now with film and TV. So after that wraps up, we will talk about getting together and hopefully keeping my fingers crossed. I mean, I'd love to. It's always so much fun. And, you know, all that time off makes you want to come back together. And there's always so much more to talk about and create from, especially from that time apart.
How old were you when you went over to South Korea?
15.
Wow. Were you looked at as like an outsider when you first got there or no?
I mean, you could say that.
Yeah.
I came out of nowhere where I was like, hi, I'm from California. I want to be a serious artist. And I would never take a 15-year-old that seriously. I understand why now. But yeah, I went at 15, was super determined, and started at 18. On my 18th birthday, actually. It was a challenge actually till I was like 21. Like I was still learning reading and writing and trying to express myself fully in Korean and then onto other different languages as well. So I didn't know what was going on till like I think like 21 or 22 fully. I was just happy to be on stage and just singing. I just moved back to California last year.
Right.
And I'm getting used to it, and I'm just happy to be back home. Like I'm so thankful for all the experiences that I've had in K-pop and still counting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm like hearing you say what other people might be thinking, and I think it's really, really special that I get both sides.
Totally. I think so too. And I think, I don't know, we'll see, but I think you might have more of an advantage to really break out here because you got to see kind of both sides of things,
Yeah, I absolutely agree. My fans are so amazing. They've been supportive since the beginning. I just met one of my fans at play a trivia game, and she was like, I've been a fan since 2007. I was like, you've been there since the beginning. And she's like, and now you're coming to New York, and I live in New York. And it's just so amazing that I get to see my fans and grow with my fans in a new chapter. And I feel so lucky and blessed, and that's such a privilege.
Girls' Generation is kind of like the OGs of
thank you.
of the K-pop group. Seriously, you guys have been around